believe it's the 9th of July, 2022, or somewhere thereabouts. And I have a bit of a story to tell you about this colony. This is Hive 3, and on the 7th of June, they swarmed. And those bees went up across the neighbor's fence, and I was able to catch them and put them in boxes. And on the 8th of June, I went through them just to confirm, and sure enough, there was about half the bees in there that should have been in there. And I went right through the box down to the bottom, and down in the second last frame I pulled out, I found an unmated dark black queen. And so I put them all back together and just left them. And a week later, I opened them up and I went through them, and I went through every frame in this colony and I did not see a queen. So I thought she might be out mating, or she might have taken off just like the rest of the new queens this year. And so I put them back together, I let them sit for another 3-4 days, came back and I inspected them every last frame, and I did not find a queen of any kind in this box. But there was something suspicious going on. They were relatively calm for what was apparently a queenless box, and I didn't see any signs of eggs of any kind. All the brood had hatched from the previous queen. There was no eggs anywhere in this box. So that meant there was no laying worker, but it also meant there was no laying queen. But I was really suspicious of the fact that there wasn't a laying worker in here, or at least some of them attempting to start laying eggs. And I should have listened to my gut, but I didn't. And what I did was I took all the bees out of the third box here, and I shook them all off, shook the frames all off, and got bees concentrated down into these two boxes. And then I put a screen board in the middle here. I put this box back on here empty of bees, covered it up, and I went and got the only queen that I've gotten to mate this year from the nuke in my other location. So I brought the nuke over here. I took out the 3 frames in the middle of the top box, and I put the 3 frames from the nuke into here. And then I just covered them up, left them for a while, for a couple of days, figuring that that new queen's pheromones would go down through the box, and all these bees, the older bees, would realize that they have a queen now, and everything would be good. So after that 2 days, I opened them up, lifted out some of the frames from the top box here, and let's get these uncovered. Lift it up. Oh, get that off. So I took these frames out because these were the frames that had the fresh eggs on it and where the queen was. And I got her and I marked her. I saw her on here. She's a nice brown queen, completely brown queen, or tan colored, whatever you want to call them. And I got her in a marking cage in my marker, and I marked her, and I lifted the top box and the screen board off, and I set that cage on top of the old bees on the second box. And so the bees come welling up out of the frames. They were all over the marker, and just by the way they were acting, they were quite pleased to see her, because I was able to easily just swipe them off. They weren't like trying to cling onto the marking cage, trying to kill her. They weren't all hunched up or anything. They were just, just sweep them off and they would run back on. Sweep them off, they'd run back on. So, okay, the screen board trick worked. So I took the screen board out, completely out, and I put the third box with the nuke bees in it on top of the other two boxes and closed them up and let them sit for a few days. And then I went back in to check to see how she was getting along with all these bees. And I started taking these top frames out, and the first frame of eggs and brood that the marked queen had laid, I pulled it out and I was looking at it, and there was a big gigantic black queen there, unmarked. And I thought, where did you come from? Because during that time that the box appeared to be queenless, it was cold, it was overcast, it was raining, and I thought, okay, she's gone out to mate and she's died somewhere out in the bush, you know. So I took the rest of the box apart, and the tan colored queen with a mark on her was gone. So they must have killed her off. And the box is now populated by this dark queen, but she's not marked, and I'd like to find her today. It's been, I don't know, 2 weeks now since I discovered that. So that's the tale of woe with this box so far. Oh, and there's the missus coming. Are you coming to help, dear? No. All right. All right. So anyway, let's see if we can find this big black queen. So this is bee bread and nectar. That's full of nectar. Hope I don't have to go too deep in here to find that new queen. I'm not going to use any smoke. I don't want to chase her down the box. That's nectar. That's all nectar. There is a really good wild blackberry flow on right now. So, but these bees are getting kind of old because there hasn't been any brood hatching in here for about a month. The brood that the tan colored queen was laying should be about ready to emerge. That's all nectar and honey. That's all nectar and honey. Yeah. So she's not going to be there. All right, there's brood. Now this is from the stuff in the center there is from the tan queen, but I see larvae and eggs down in them empty cells there. So that's from the new queen. And those eggs are just laying over. Some of them are hatching into tiny little larvae. And yeah, same on this side. And I don't see her here. She should be fairly easy to find. I don't know if the population is very good in here anymore because, like I said, there hasn't been any new brood hatching in here for a month. So these bees are getting on. And what do we got going on here? Well, this is all brood. If I can. Yeah, I see some eggs down in there. It's not very bright today. Again, we've had another Arctic front. We had like 8 days of perfect beekeeping weather. And then this Arctic front moved in. And it just sort of parked itself over the island, and it just won't go away. It just will not go away. It's been raining and cold for this time of year, overcast. That's one of the reasons I haven't been making too many videos, because I haven't been doing a whole lot of actual beekeeping. It is supposed to be nice this week for a few days, but from what I understand, there's another big... Now there's a good looking frame of brood there. Yeah, from what I understand, there's another Arctic front rolling down the west coast of Canada, and it's going to slam into us probably mid next week. And there's fresh grubs, there's wet cells, so she's been here laying. So she's got this upper box pretty well laid up here. And I've had some lower back issues the last few days, and come on, come on. All right, that's all honey, so she won't be anywhere past this. But I'm gonna knock that off of there because I don't want to squish any bees. Come on, come on, get out of the way, out of the way. All right, so I'll see if I can lift this box off of here. Take that off for a second. Smoke her a few puffs just to keep it going. See, this is why I don't like leaving this burr comb here. You can see that, because the bees will just climb on top of it, and then they'll get squished by putting the other box back on there. Come on out of there. Out, out, out. You see the honey squirt out of that one. Hey, hey, pay attention. Let's see if I can get them. Come on, girls. I know, you want to lick up that honey that was just exposed. Come on. There. Alright, let's hope we can find her in this box. So yeah, you can see, I don't know if you can see down in there, but there's not too many bees on the outside frames. So they're concentrating themselves in the middle. That's all partially capped honey and nectar. This is another spot I don't like them building up. Yeah, that's all honey and nectar. That'll be good winter food for them once they get that capped off. That's all honey and nectar. Yeah, good winter food frame for them. Let's see how far in we have to go before we find brood. Well, there's bee bread and honey, so next frame should be brood. Oh yeah, there's a good pattern of brood, and there's fresh grubs in there. I don't see her there. She should be pretty easy to find if there's not that many bees on these frames. That's a good pattern of brood there. Yeah, I don't see her. I want to clean off the bottom of this frame. I know they'll just build it up again, but come on, girls. Run away. There, I might be getting too close to the camera with that. See, there's a couple of queen cups right there. I don't think that means anything because there's not the population in here for them to be. Come on, out of the way. For them to be thinking about swarming. So let's get that back in there. Oh, nice frame of brood. And there's some young larvae at the ends there. Wow, this new queen. Well, new queens usually do a bang up job, so there's a queen cup. Let's get that back in there. Whoa, we got some sun for a minute. Wow, look at this one. Bee bread, a little bit of honey in the ends, and just tons of new bees. So this box will explode here pretty soon. And what are they doing in here? There's supersedure cells there. And get the little bee behinds out of there so I can see what's going on. I'm going to pull them off. There's nothing in there. Still have not sighted the queen. Oh, there's more queen cups. They're all dry. Yank them off of there. Yeah, I don't see her. Of course, she won't be here because there's no place for her to lay. This might mean a trip right to the bottom. Come on. Well, there's empty cells there. She might be here. Yeah, I see some eggs in there. So she might be kicking around here somewhere. Let me know if you see her. See all the, yeah, I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but there's fresh larvae in there. She's laid this frame up. And I see eggs in all them cells. They're just laying over. So she's not going to be here. Looks like this frame is completely laid up. So maybe the next one. Come on, out of the way. Let's get that wax off of there. This is all honey. You can just tell by the weight. Yeah, that's all honey. So she's going to make me look right in the bottom box for her. That's all honey. So the outside one's going to be all honey as well. You can just see by looking down in there, it's all cappings. There's a few cappings at the top there at least. And push back in. Don't tell me it's going to rain. Oh, this ungodly weather is just like, give me a break. For this time of year, around this area. Set them there. Alright, let's see what I can find here. See if I can find her. See the way they're jumping up? That's kind of empty. This has got bee bread and honey in it. This one's kind of empty. Got a little bit of honey in that side. That's got some nectar in it. Lots of bee bread there. Come on, girls, out of the way. Didn't take long, found her. Oh, where did she go? She was right on. There she is. She's right in the middle there, right there. So let's see if I can get her to scurry up into the queen cage. Alright, is she up in there? Or did I miss her? Let's close it up. Gently. Oh, she's in there. I just don't want to... Sorry, I'm in the way here with the cameras. There. Pretty sure I got it. Yeah, she's in here. So... I get them workers to scurry out through them. No, you go away. Turn sideways. I want you to turn sideways. There. Gently turn that up a little bit more. She's... Get the marker. Come on, get off of her. Ah, there's some on her wings. Well, it don't matter. They'll clean her up. Should have dabbed that on a tissue. So I'm going to leave her sit there for a couple minutes anyway. Let that dry. I'll just leave her sit there like that. And I'll be back when I release her. Alright, let's see if we can get down here. I don't want her. Oh, she's at the bottom there. Alright. Oh, there was a drone in there. That's... Come on. She coming out? And the bee's trying to clean her up already. There she goes. Yeah, I got a little bit more ink on her than... Alright, she's back in the box. Alright. So I want to reassemble this box. I can use my smoke now. Just scrape some of that off. Very good, very good. She's marked. And in preparation for going to the bush, Yeah, the time to get them up to the bush is getting pretty close. And we're going to change the flat inner cover for this one. Pop that sugar feeder off of there. Come in. Not that I'm giving them any feed this time of year, but I leave them in there all year. And I'm going to put a brace across here. Just a piece of 3/4 by 1 or something. Just screw it in from the sides. And that'll hold that down in place so when we're traveling up to the bush, the wind won't knock those sugar feeders off. And then I'm going to put a flat roof on there. Yeah, I want the flat roofs up in the bush. I don't want the peaked roof up in the bush. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to do. I forgot. I was going to put a queen excluder on there and a honey super, get them ready for the bush. So let's do that. The way that new queen is laying, I don't want her getting up into the honey super and laying a bunch of brood in the honey frames. So they will now be ready to go to the bush. They probably won't make much use of them between now and next weekend. At least that's when I sort of determined that they might be going up there. It all depends on how this weather continues. So, one thing I wanted to show you before I signed off is this stuff up here in the garden. This is fireweed. And see, it's a tall plant. This has been here for 3 years, and this is the first year it's actually turned into real fireweed blossoms. And you see that, and it works its way from the bottom of this stalk to the top. And it does it very slowly. So, and the bees love this stuff. And it produces a lot of nectar and a lot of pollen. And yeah, it's really good for the bees. Especially when you want to get them set up with winter honey stores and stuff. You can see some of them have started to open. This one is just getting to that point. By this time last year, I was harvesting my first honey from up at the fireweed area because it was so hot. This year, the fireweed up in the fireweed area, I don't know, I haven't been up there since, I've been about 9 days now, and it wasn't even close to coming into bloom. So, hopefully soon, we'll get there. And we'll get these girls in the trailer and get them transported to the bush and carry on. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope you continue watching my videos. And I'll be back again soon with another video. All right, bye for now.